This right here is a very fancy Minecraft block switcher, which is kind of compact. I mean, usually with block switchers, you might think they're way more compact, but this one does some things differently. As you can see, there's just a blank wall, and then there is a thing standing out of there with an item in there. So this is kind of special, and I'm gonna show you how to build it today. First off though, before I show you the big one, I want to show you some normal ones. So basically, this is a block switcher I made a video about once. This is how it looks. It's quite compact. It just switches the block out normally. The difference with the other design is that the crafting table would be here, and yeah, that makes it that longer. I mean, you could maybe make it more compact, but you know, that's the way I did it. Then we've got some other block switcher things like this here, but this is boring. Come on, why would you have a plank here? I mean, yes, no, never mind. You could have a smithing table like this here. You could just switch them out, but that's boring, you know. Look at that. That's just a little bit of redstone. You can everybody can do that. You don't need a tutorial for that. I first didn't know if I should make a whole building tutorial and not just explanation, which I once did, but I'm gonna do a full building tutorial on this. I'm gonna maybe make it with time lapses and so, I think, and explanation. So yeah, alright. Generally, for the concept here, I'm gonna retrieve it real quick. You have a composter here. You can do it, by the way, with any block. You can do it with wood in your house. You can do it with stone in any wall or mountain. You can have a composter here with an item dispensed in it. I'm gonna explain that later. Or you could have a crafting table or a magma block for a parkour or whatever. Just put any block that is movable here and here. If you want to have an item be fancily dispensed into the thing, then I recommend either a composter here or a cauldron, because generally if you drop an item into a cauldron or into a composter, then it will stay in there. As you can see here, we have dropped an item in here, and it got moved, and it got moved again, and it's staying there, which is really fancy. You can dispense things like this. If you just wanna dispense a thing, then just place a dispenser behind the wall and just put it out there. Just, you know, like this, you just get your item out of there. If you want that, just put any redstone thing behind here and just with one dispenser or dropper, whatever, and it works. But here we want fanciness. Timestamps are in the video, you can skip, but I wanna explain real quick how I got to this design and why it might be a little bit too big or something, or maybe it's kind of small. But generally, first off, I started out with this idea. I wanted to make a wall and a crafting table. Then I had my first layout, and then I had my second. I numbered everything, which pistons need to be moved with levers. You know, that's how I usually do it. Then I made my first thing. This kind of worked, but it just worked for putting the crafting table out, but not in again. That was also an issue here. This worked quite well for putting it out, but I couldn't manage to get it back in. I tried here and it just didn't work. I tried for a long time, but then I decided to do it with observers, because in the past observers have worked for me, because I kind of like them. And here I just put the signals in which order I need to activate them. Then, I mean, this was a little less compact. I made it more compact when I was done, but generally I first wanted to just make the opening mechanism, which is getting it out here, with, you know, powering this piston first and this and this. You know, the order is here on those signs. Then I also made a second mechanism, which is here removed for the closing part. That didn't quite work, and I just scrapped it all. And then I just by accident found out that if I press this another time, switches between those two phases. You know, like this block is back here and now it's in the default state again, which was really random. I didn't plan for this, but it just happened to be this way. This button, I press it once to get it out from those two stages, and then I press it 3 times to get it back in, which is maybe not the most efficient. You can make it faster and stuff, you know, but I didn't want to. So I just built, this is kind of a redstone clock. It is perfectly timed. You know, if you press this 3 times. As you can see, everything goes back in. It activates this thing here 3 times, and everything is at the default state. If you want to have the item dropping thing, you know, you got your dropper below here. You got some hoppers to pick up the item if it by accident was shoved out to the outside. Also same thing down here, and with the second dispenser here, yeah, it just activates every single time this thing here gets activated. That's why there are those hoppers, because it gets activated all the time. You have your items here. This is really fancy. So let's start with the building. We are going to have 3 colors here. You can choose them any way you want. You don't even have to use those colors. Blue color is the main circuit. Dark blue is activating it 3 times, and purple or magenta is the dispenser thing, which you don't need. So we'll start out blue. The materials you need is 1 target block, 1 obsidian, 1 node block, some pistons, some observers, and a bunch of repeaters and redstone. Yeah, that's basically it. You need like 3 glass. We can start. First, we want our default position, which is just placing pistons over here in all their positions. We need 2 over here and 1 here. This one is getting the composter, and this one here is getting the stone. This is the default position we were going for. Then we need the observers. They should obviously be looking at the pistons. Like, you know, the redstone part should be looking at the pistons, otherwise it would be wouldn't work, obviously. From up here we have one from the side. I tried to make it kind of compact. It isn't the most compact in the world, but you know, it does what it does. To make it more compact, you could maybe move those observers up here like this, kind of just other way, and this one over here, and then have all the circuits in this area, but we're not doing that. Alright, let us first place the button and then the connection from the button to those things. The reason we have the target block here is because we want to have a shorter signal than the button here. You can also do this in different ways, but that's just how I made it. Lol. This right here is basically it. You can make it also a little bit different, obviously. So we're placing 2 blocks over here. We're gonna first here in this send it up here, but this is generally the second signal we're gonna need. Yeah, we've got our wiring here. We're gonna wire this up here. Don't be fooled. You gotta have 2 things here. 1 here, like 0 here, 0 here, 1 here. Right here, we gotta make sure it does not connect to this piston. We just lead it over here. I forgot 1 observer here. This is a bad tutorial, isn't it? Anyways, now we need some blocks here for many repeaters, and also the obsidian later on. I'll explain why we need that. So the first thing we need to power is this middle one here. So we just need the redstone directly, the first source here. Then this is, I believe, the 4th thing we need. So this is just this strength here, and then over here this is kind of the last one we'll need. This is just 2 fully extended ones. The reason we need the node block here is because we want to power the node block, and the reason we need the obsidian is because for some reason the piston from down here or something, or I think the stone here, gets pushed over there in this direction and we don't want that. So yeah, we got those 2 redstone here and there, and this works. If you've paid attention, you know that we are missing one thing here, which is the connection to this one here. And the thing is, you could use a redstone here, but I just like it more this way. You can do it differently. I don't think it makes a difference, but this right here should actually be everything. Wait, let me let me get it into the starting position. Yep, alright, so it works. This is basically it. This is, you gotta be honest, this is not that big. You can make it even more compact. You could move this here, this right here, what I'm building here. You could move this 1 block in this direction. You could maybe, you know, put this over here and that like from below or something. So it's just, you know, it works. You gotta press this 3 times to get it back in there. This is basically everything you need. But just for convenience, we're gonna add that second button over here, because you don't want to press it 3 times. You just want to press it once and then you know, it goes 3 times. And we're also gonna add the fancy thing over here. You can, I wanna say this again, you can use, I don't know, a cartography table for this and just put it out there. But you know, no, I've never seen someone like do the composter thing, so this is something new. I don't think you've seen that anywhere, so I just did the composter thing. First, before we do the second circuit, we are gonna have a look at this dispenser thing. Basically, the only thing you need right here is a dispenser which goes from below into this. It can also be from the top, but you know, from below you got a better connection with the redstone. We also are gonna need a second one here, because this hopper right here is gonna pick that up. You can't put it up here because then the item will be picked up again by the hopper which is in the composter, and then it just won't work. You can add more hoppers anywhere. Yeah, I just put like 4 hoppers here in total. This right here, this hopper is under a block, but you know, just in case something glitches out. But yeah, you just wanna connect this with 2 redstone, and that is basically the dropper thing. As you can see, it doesn't yeah, wow, it didn't have anything in it. It works most of the time. It doesn't work 100% of the time. It just, you know, works most of it. So let's press this, and yep, as you can see, there's a block in here, and you can just walk up here and get it. As you can see, one fell down here. I don't know how the hell it got here. So if that happens, you might just wanna, you know, add hoppers anywhere where you can see something falls out. This should be sufficient in the most ways. Unless you're dealing with valuable items, then just put more hoppers anywhere, or maybe design it a little different. I'm sure if you're watching this, if you're still watching this, thank you, by the way. If you're watching this, you probably know how to do redstone. Next thing is this. You can make this different. I just made it with this timing here. This is basically just a huge clock, kind of, just that it doesn't activate itself infinitely. So yeah, let's just get starting with it. The first circuit is just this small thing over here, so let's build that real quick. It's mainly the connection to the thing. We got you might think you can do this. Nope, you can't, because you need the one way so it doesn't go back and loop itself. Then we're gonna need a block here. This is just gonna be a block to block thing. Here is, by the way, the timing of everything. If you want to screenshot that, do it now. I'm gonna just build it in a time lapse now. Alright, the timing with these here is quite precise. Let's see how if it works. So as you can see, yeah, it's perfectly timed every time. You can maybe shave one thing off, but I don't think so. Otherwise it will just be too fast and break it. But yeah, as you can see, this worked. This is no trickery, this is no magic. It's just sending the signal over there 3 times. I'll explain it real quick. If you first time sends over here, second time it goes this way, here, over here, and back here, and the third time it goes here, ta ba bam, over here, and then back to the start, and then it goes. These are the 3 circuits. That's how it works. And yeah, this is basically it. This is a long tutorial. I don't usually make these long tutorials. If you are a true watcher, which I don't know if you're still here, maybe 1% of the people that watch this video, if it gets any views. My last video, I don't know, it's been just 4 days after posting, but it got like 4 views. I think I'm shadow banned from YouTube. But anyways, I once made a video about this. I didn't make a build tutorial, but I showcased how it works and stuff. So if you want to watch that, it is on screen right now. I hope you enjoyed this video today. I hope this was useful. Leave any comment if I've missed something. And yeah, goodbye. Have a good day.